said it, not me. I didn't say anything.
You're sleeping, man. You're sleeping, bro.
Joining Lebanese people, that's why I thought. يلا اتكل على الله.
عليكم السلام.
السلام ورحمة الله. How are you? السلام عليكم. الله يحفظك. كيفك؟
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء. اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عامل القبيح بالحسن مبدل غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلته وكم من عثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرت. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وكسرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد أملي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجنايتها ومطالي يا سيدي. فأسألك بعزتك أن لا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك؟ أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك وخالفت بعد أوامرك فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك. وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك وقد آتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي. يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي هبني لابتداء كرمك والسالف برك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد ما انطوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم ومن أن تضيع من ربيت أو تبعد من أدنيت أو تشرد من آويت أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة وبشكرك مادحة وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب. وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليلي من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مكثوه، يسير بقاؤه، قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي، فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين؟ يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، لما منها أضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته؟ فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، لأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأحيينك الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا راية آمال العارفين، يا رياض المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلما سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين طباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيجا مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين طباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجر زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رب؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في يدقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات، ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع، لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، أجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته، كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره.
يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك ربي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بدري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. قوي على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على عزيمتي جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في اتصالي بخدمتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في البارزين، واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فارد، ومن كادني فكد، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، وجد لي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأكلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة، فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، وكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا، اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى، يا أرحم رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء، يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله، وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. اللهم صل على محمد
وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. استجابة الدعاء and for those who need dua for
We need the screen.
no?
Only speak.
For shifa, please let's read ayat al-Muqtar 7 times. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 May Allah Azza wa Jal do a qada haja for you guys, and for anybody who's have their sickness, inshallah, Allah will heal them, inshallah.
Sorry.
Gotta use two.
Hassan, excuse me.
This is for the phone. Thank you.
Can you reset?
Only click around it.
الفاتحة. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين والذين أنعمت عليهم أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونستغفره ونصلي ونسلم على حبيبه ونجيبه وخيرة في خلقه بشيره ونذيره ورحمة للعالمين صاحب لواء الحمد والمقام المحمود والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا حبيب قلوبنا بالقاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذين يقولون ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما أولئك يجزون غرفة بما صبروا ويلقون فيها تحية وسلاما خالدين فيها حسنت مستقرا ومقاما. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think I consider this to be my honor to be here, especially the occasion to give tribute to the Lady of Light. It's an important occasion. Our allegiance to Sayyida is allegiance to Ali. Allegiance to Ali is allegiance to Muhammad and to Quran and to Allah Azza wa Jal. She is a light. I cannot give her enough in terms of attributes. I cannot. So best way to define it are the Quran or the scholars. The Quran or the scholars. The three ayah that I recited to you is from Surah Al-Furqan. It's Surah number 25, 74, 75, 76, three ayahs. And it says, وَالَّذِينَ يقولون ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا وقرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. This dua, according to reliable sources, is dua of Ahlul Bayt. I'm honored. When you follow in the footsteps, you follow in the footsteps of every step they take. When they talk from Quran, this is Ahlul Bayt's dua, attributed to Ahlul Bayt specifically. And there are authentic ahadith on that. What is the dua they are asking? And I need to learn from that. We need to learn from that. وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ هَبْ لَنَا وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. They pray to Allah, the Rabb, that from our wives, spouses, from our children, give us delight of the eye. Qurratu a'yunan. I don't know how to define this. This is only Quran. Only Ahlul Bayt can decide that. Qurratu a'yunan. Give us children, give us wives that will delight our eyes. When you look at them, and this is one of the hadiths I saw, that whenever Imam Ali was sad, he looked at Sayyida's face. The problem will go away. The power of that. Qurratu a'yunan. This is the dua of Ahlul Bayt from Quran. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. And from our children, make imams. Of course, imamat continued from Ali and Fatima to Zahra Salaam alayha. So these three ayahs tell us the attributes that Ahlul Bayt are passing on to us. We get married, we have children, follow this dua. Qurratu a'yunan. Make them delight of your eyes. They are addressing us, all of us. And then the second ayah says, أُولَٰئِكَ يُجْزَوْنَ غُرْفَةً بِمَا صَبَرُوا يُلَقُّونَ فِيهَا تَحِيَّةً وَسَلَامًا. They shall be rewarded. Think how Allah is talking in Quran. They ask, Allah said they will be rewarded. Any member of Ahlul Bayt, they ask only when they know it will be accepted, or Allah is putting on their heart. So they're saying that they shall be rewarded with the highest station in paradise. What is the highest station? I don't know. The Quran alludes to that station called Maqam Mahmud. That's the high station that is referred to in the Quran, and that's what the station of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad is. Is elevated. How can you relate with that? How can we relate with that station when we haven't even thought about that? And then in the end, خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا حَسُنَتْ مُسْتَقَرًّا وَمُقَامًا. And they'll abide therein forever. There is no time limit, there is no clock, there is no 24/7 week, month, no. They can stay there as long as they want. And what an excellent resting place and abode. This is a dua for us. I have children, I have grandchildren. Now I have to go back and make them qurratu ayunin, become the light of my eyes, oh my grandchildren, oh my children, oh my azwaj. And this is the lesson that we get. So now we are going to honor, and I cannot honor, I feel that I don't have enough. All I can do is present the best what I can gather, collect, research. Okay, this is all it is. How to honor this lady? Let me tell you a little story. If you give me a loud salawat, please. Eighth Imam, Imam Ali Rada alayhi salam. He's sitting with his companion, his son, the ninth Imam, Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad. Very young, few years old. He's in the next room. And the narration is that Imam Rida needed his son to come. So he called him, Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad, no answer. Called him again, Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad, no answer. So now Imam gets up. Now the companion is describing all this event. So now Imam Rida goes into the room and he sees his 5-6-year-old son, one hand on the ground, looking up towards the sky. One hand on the ground. He's in contemplation, very young child, 5-6-year-old. He is a born Imam, even at 5. So at 5-6 years old, he's looking at the sky, one hand on the ground. His father asked, son, I called you? Yeah, father. Son, I called you twice. Yes, father. But you didn't respond. What are you doing? He said, I'm doing a fikr. I'm pondering, I'm doing a fikr. Yeah, but what is that fikr? Share with me, son. He says, I just want to know the manzilate, my grandmother with Allah. Manzilat of my grandmother, Fatima Zahra with Allah. Imam picks up his son, gives him a big hug. He says, son, this is one of the requirements of the imamah. One of the requirement of the imamah is to know manzilate Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha with Allah. Imam is talking now, 5-year-old. So he hugs him, he says, yes, this is one of the requirements of the imamah, to know her manzila. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he is describing his grandmother. The reverence that every imam is starting from Ali. If you read the history, starting from Rasulullah, Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussain, and the Tisal Masumeen, the reverence they have for their Fatima Zahra is incomparable. Is incomparable. Rasulullah used to get up for her. Rasulullah used to get up for her. This is very big. Risalat gets up for her. So now Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is talking to us. He says, the best woman of the world of 4, everybody knows that. One day Rasulullah sitting, he draws 4 lines in the sand. This riwayah. He's sitting there, he draws 4 lines in the sand. So people ask, Ya Rasulullah, what are these? He says, these are the 4 most prominent ladies of the ever time. All time. All times. Asya bint Mazahim, wife of Fir'aun. Maryam bint Imran, the only lady mentioned by name in a surah. Only distinction she had. Number 3, Khadija bint Khuwailid, the first and the best mu'minah. The first and the best mu'minah. Nobody can compare to her. No woman can compare to her. Her faith, her iman. And then, of course, the 4th one, Fatima Zahra salam. Then Imam Sadiq alayhi salam goes on to say, Fatima alayhi salam has 9 names given to her from Allah Azza wa Jal. I like to share this with everyone, the ladies particularly. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is saying that my great-grandmother, Fatima Zahra, has 5 alqab, 5 titles given to her from Allah Azza wa Jal. And I would like to make sure that I pay attention before anybody else does. Al-Fatimah, the best. Is Fatima, the name itself denotes there is nobody comparable to her. Fatir as-samawati wal ard. That originates from Allah's ism. Fatir as-samawati wal ard. Her name is one who originates. She is the originator of Deen of Islam. Then he says, when asked why she was named Fatima Zahra, her father said, because she and her followers, all of us inshallah, will be safeguarded from the fire of hell. All of us. Right here. At least this is what he's saying. She was named as Fatima after Fatir as-samawati wal ard, and all her followers will be saved from the fire of hell on the day of resurrection. Number 2, as-siddiqa, the truthful. Now I think it's important not just for ladies, so mean for everyone. We are honoring light of light, Qurrat Ayanan. So now the second title is as-siddiqa, the truth. What does it mean, siddiqa? Means she doesn't know. She just doesn't have in her anything which is false, lies, dalal. It doesn't exist in her. She is 100% pure. From birth to the time she left the world, she was pure. So she was truthful. Sayyidah Maryam was called Siddiqa in the Quran. Quran calls Maryam was Siddiqa. Likewise, Fatima was known as Siddiqa. She was known as Siddiqa Kubra. She was Siddiqa Kubra. She was way above Maryam bint Imran. The Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you Fatima are the mistress of the woman of my nation. Muhammad's nation is forever. At the time of Maryam, it was the nation of Isa alayhi salam. It wasn't there. Today, the nation of Islam, wherever there is, Siddiqa should be remembered. She is Siddiqa Kubra. You are the mistress of the woman of my nation, as Maryam was the mistress of her nation at that time. Number 3, Mubarakah, the blessed one. The Prophet said about this, if I ever long for paradise, I smell the fragrance of Fatima Zahra. Allahu Akbar. What an affection Nabi Muhammad has for his daughter, that when I long for paradise, I just go in. She's Qurrat Ayanan. When I look at fragrance, I'm in paradise. Fatima and her followers will be the first to enter paradise. Inshallah, all of us. Inshallah, all of us. Number 4, At-Tahira, pure. Fatima inherited this title from her mother Khadija al-Kubra, who was known as Tahira. This is an inheritance of a mother and a daughter. Tahira mother, Tahira daughter. What a combination. What an excellent combination. There isn't any combination like this. Number 5, Az-Zakiyya, the chaste. Once a blind man asked for permission to enter Fatima's house, but she kept a veil between them. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked her the reason. Blind man keeping a veil in between. And it's very beautiful. Why did you keep a veil between you when he cannot see you? And this is the beauty we forget. This is the wisdom. Fatima salamullah said, O Messenger of Allah, it is true that he cannot see me, but I can see him. Makes a lot of difference. Makes a lot of difference. Then Prophet said, Salawat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
He asked her, O daughter, what is best for women? This is all recorded from Muhammad Sadiq alayhi salam. What is best for the woman? It is best for them not to see men and not to let men see them. I should hide myself. There are ladies sitting there. Salawat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad. I apologize, sisters. It's haya inside. Seeing of the heart, the heart. Seeing from the heart, from your inside, not the obvious. When the Prophet heard the answer, he said, surely she has spoken the truth, because she is Siddiqa Kubra. For for she is part of me. Bid'atun minni. The titles that Rasulullah gave to Sayyidah are just not incompatible to anyone. Number 4, Radiya and Maradiya. It's number 6 and 7. It's a two-way connection. Sayyidah was pure from inside 100%. Her mother was 100%. Her father, her husband, 100% pure. So what does it mean? What does it really mean? It means that no matter what happens to her, she's pleased with the Rabb. She's pleased with the Rabb. If you give me a salawat, I'll tell you a story.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
A louder one, please.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
In Nabi Dawood's time, he was told, Wahi, O Dawood, in the community you live in, there's a lady who will be your companion in paradise. So Nabi Dawood was anxious. Who will be my companion in the next life? So he goes house to house, door to door. He stops at the house. He knows this is the house. The lady's name is Khalideh. Knocks and says, "Are you Khalideh?" And she knows the Nabi. She says, "I'm not the one you're looking for." She's also wise. She says, "I'm not the one you're looking for. But are you Khalideh?" But again, I told you, Ya Nabi Allah, I'm not the one you're looking for, asking for. He says, "The one who told me never lies. My Rabb never tells lies. Are you Khalideh?" She says, "I'm Khalid. You'll be my companion." But she said, "I don't have any character, attributes that will qualify me to marry a Nabi Allah. I don't consider myself to be worthy of your wife or companion in paradise." She said, "You must have something. You must have something." She said, "Well, I'm an ordinary person. The one quality," she described 3, one I'll share with you today. She said, "One quality I have is whenever difficulties come to me, trials, tribulations, pain, suffering come to me, I pray to Allah not to remove it until He wills it, not on my request." It's a very big difference. She leaves it to Him. She said, "You remove it when you think it's time. Time of trouble, I'm the first one to start crying to Allah. Remove, remove, remove." She's saying, "You remove when you think it's suitable." It's a very, very big quality. And this quality is perfected in Fatima al-Zahra salamu alayha. That's why she is known as Radiyat al-Mardiya. She's pleased, irregardless. She was in complete harmony from inside. Khushu'. Her khushu' was with Rabb. And in turn, Rabb responded to her. Who is satisfied, content with what Allah gives, and who will give and who will be given satisfaction? It's a two-way lane. Remember now, we need to improve our khushu', which is inside. The salat has to be with khushu'. I don't know what khushu' is. I'm trying to learn. Alladhim salatim khashi'un. Once Fatima carried a water skin until it scarred her chest. She would grind grain using a hand until blisters appeared on her hands. I don't know if you've seen that old grinding. We're talking about 14 centuries ago. We live in comfort. Everything is a blender. Everything is automatic. Everything, you just leave it, everything gets done. Computer, science, this. There's so many conveniences that I don't even know what difficulty is. I'm talking about myself. Each one of you can assess for yourself. So many conveniences that I'm buried into convenience. I don't know what difficulty is. I think difficulty is when the power goes off for a half an hour, AC is not working, half an hour only. But they're in the desert. They lived 100+ degrees. She swept the floor until her clothes became dusty. I don't know if you people understand, those who have gone for Hajj can see these dirt homes. There's no carpet there, there's no mat there. We don't have fancy things around the house. This we're talking about Zahra. She swept the floor until her clothes became dusty. And lit the fire under the cooking pot until her clothes became mud-colored from the smoke. Do you know what it is like to light a fire of coal or wood? It's very difficult. In a small room, you have children. You don't have facilities. You don't have an electric stove. You don't have a fridge. You don't have a vacuum cleaner. She's content. She's content. She's content with everything that Allah gave her. She was sabira. She was a sabira. Fatima was afflicted with great pain. Seeing this, Ali ibn Abi Talib asked her one day, he sees that and who cannot be in pain? We cannot visualize how hard it is to work. She had no maid. Everything she had to do by hand in that 14 centuries ago, yet she was shakira. So Imam Ali suggests to his wife, he said, why don't you ask your father for a servant to relieve you from these tasks? Of course, Muhammad can give. But look at the wisdom of Rasulullah. When Fatima salamullah alayhi went to her father, she found that he had company. So she was too shy to talk to him, so she returned home. I wish our kids can learn that. The etiquette, the akhlaq. She didn't disturb her father because he was busy. She went away. She was needy. She was in pain. She was suffering, yet she just shied away. The Prophet knew that she had come for something. The next morning, he came to the house and asked why she had come the previous day. She did not speak, she did not say anything. Haya. She don't say anything. She don't want to complain. Even, see, this is what the whole key is, that she's content. Radiyatun mardiyya. It's Ali who's seeing her pain and saying, you do it. Caring for her, Ali comes forward and said, so now Ali takes on the talk and says that she came to ask you for servant to help her domestic task. The Prophet, hearing this, said, shall I teach you something that is better for you than a servant? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. When you sleep, when you lay down to sleep, connect with Allah in the way, glorify Allah 33 times. Just glorify Allah 33 times. Praise Him, Alhamdulillah, 33 times. And say Allahu Akbar 33. This is where the beginning of that Tasbih Fatimatul Zahra began. And this is the solution Rasul gave to her, and through us He giving to us. But how can I learn? Because I'm too far away. I'm too involved, too ingrained. Everything materially affecting me, possessing me. The world is possessing me. I'm talking about myself. Each one of you can assess yourself. The materiality possesses me 24/7. I cannot get outside the box. Momentarily, maybe, then I come back again. When Fatimatul Zahra Salamullah heard this, she said three things. I'm pleased with that which Allah and His Messenger gave me. I'm pleased, Radiya. I'm pleased. And there is not a flicker of complaint. We complain, I complain all the time. All the time. I don't know what I want sometimes. The material life has absorbed me 100% that I cannot move away from it. I cannot. That's the society we live in. I live in. This story shows Fatima's contentment with everything that Allah provided for her, that she was called Radiya. Allahu Akbar. May Allah be pleased with us, at least sometimes, or not at least. Salat ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Remember, our ibadah is what? To please Him. Our ibadah is nothing but to please Him. And He says, Ya Sari al-Rida, we just heard it in the document. Ya Sari al-Rida. Imam Ali is saying, oh, the one who agrees so fast, and yet, from Thursday to Thursday, we just say the words and I go home. You can judge for yourself what you do. Is it resonate with me in my life tomorrow? No. Is it resonate day after tomorrow? No. Should it resonate? Yes. al-Basri, Hassan al-Basri, he relates. He says, there was not a woman in this ummah more submitting to Allah than Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha. She never had to say anything. Ali will speak, her action will speak, her children will speak, the others will speak. There is nobody in the ummah more submitting. She submitted to anything that Allah wanted. Look at her lifestyle, starting from very young age. Very young age. She was only 3 years old when she lost her mother. Think of it. She lost her mother. And her father has such tribulations in Makkah. Pain, suffering, animosity. And she became a shield at a very young age to her father. A shield. She kept on serving Islam through Muhammad, to her father. Continuously. She didn't care. When he would get hurt in the battle, who was the first in the battle in front? Muhammad and Ali, her father and her husband. Think of it, what she must go through. 2 of the most beloved person of her were in the first rank of the battle against Kuffar, Quraysh. She used to pray until her feet became swollen. You hear this story a lot, that praying of Ahlul Bayt was so super. No words can describe their prayer, because they are in the mode of radiyat and maradiyya. It's a two-way connection. They connect, Allah connects with them. They are pleased with what Allah is giving them, and Allah is pleased with what they're doing. Complete. Then you have Al-Muhaddatha, who is spoken to by angels. There are a lot of fabrications. Nobody should question the status of Fatima Zahra Salamullah with Allah. Her status is much too high for any ordinary mind like me to even comprehend her manzila. I cannot. So now Imam Sadiq alayhi salam relates, Fatima was called Muhaddatha because the angels descended from heaven and called her, as they called Maryam bint Imran, and said, "O Fatima, Allah has chosen you above the women of all nations." This is not a simple statement. Al-Fatimatu Sayyidati Misal Ahl Alam Ahl Jannah. Both ways. And there is no such thing as Shia Sunni. This is an Arabic book. I have Sahih Bukhari, it's in there. Manzilat al-Zahra. Recognize it. And the last one, the ninth one, Al-Zahra, the bride. The Prophet said, "Surely my daughter Fatima is the mistress of all women from the beginning to the end." Abul Akhir. She was a light, Al-Zahra. She is part of me and the light of my eyes. Let us make her. Read about her history. There's so many books written, they go on writing. The great writer from Iran, Shariati, Ali Shariati writes, he says, how do you introduce Fatima? You call her daughter of Muhammad, okay. Daughter of Khadija, okay. Wife of Ali, okay. Mother of Hasnan, okay. Then in the end he says, Fatima is Fatima. He says, he gives up. Give all those attributes, Fatima is Fatima. She is flower of my heart and is my soul. All ladies should do that. All ladies should do that. Make her the flower of your heart and your soul. We will be needing them. Fatima is a human huri who, whenever stands in prayers in the presence of her Lord, her light illuminates the skies for the angels like stars shine to the people on the earth. Allahu Akbar. I mean, what a compliment. She's praying here, angels are looking at her. Salawat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad. One day, Lady Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha. This is quoted by Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, very reliable companion. He relates from Imam Ali alayhi salam. One day, Fatima asked her father, the day of judgment will be a dreadful day, O father, and there will be loud cries and screaming by millions of people. In such circumstances, where will I find you? Very reasonable question. There's billions of people. Whenever it comes, Yawm al-Hashr, nobody will care for anybody. That's what the Quran says. Everybody is going to run for their own life. Me, mine. I won't even look at my children and my wife and I'm worried about myself. I mean, that's what the Quran says. Very clearly. So she's asking, Father, on the day of resurrection, how will I find you with the billions of people? The Prophet said, Fatima, the light of my eyes, the flower of my heart. On that day, I'll be at the gate of paradise. I have Lawal Hamd, Ali is with me. I will be doing intercession for my nation. You can find me there at the gate of paradise. That's one. Fatima said, oh father, what if I did not find you there? Because even going to paradise, there'll be millions of people. All of us here, plus more. What if I can't find you at the gates of paradise? The Prophet replied, if you do not find me there, then come to Hawd Kawthar, when I'll be providing water to my followers. What a beautiful answer he's giving. What a beautiful answer. The question and answer is all for us to learn from. We can hope for get some little bit of water of Kawthar. Then you have Fatima asked again, oh father, what if I do not find you there? The Holy Prophet replied, then look for me at the bridge, the Sirat. I'll be asking my Lord, please protect and preserve my nation. This is Rahmatul Alameen. He'll speak for all of us that we were here today talking about him and his daughter. Believe me, this is all recorded in each one of your shoulders. That's the system we have. Okay? So, Fatima asked, Father, what if I do not find you there at the bridge? The Holy Prophet replied, then look for me at the place of Mizan. Now she, step by step, they're taking us where we would need Muhammad and Fatima. Then look for me at the place of Mizan. I will be supplicating for the safety of my nation. Allahu Akbar. Quran said Nabi Muhammad cares for his nation, all of us. He's very tender-hearted. You're tender-hearted, Muhammad. You care. He cares for each one of us here. You think he's not here? He's Rahmatul Alameen. If I'm living by Rahmah, his presence is here. Fatima asked again, what if I do not find you there? The Holy Prophet replied, then look for me at the edge of hell. Allahu Akbar. May Allah save us from that. Look for me at the edge of hell. I'll be saving my nation and followers from the fire of punishment. He wouldn't want to see any one of us go there. That was the final stage. He said, I will be protecting my nation. This is what Rasul is saying. What I'd like to just share with you, where one of the very devout scholars pointed out the role of Fatima Zahra. As you know that there are hundreds of books have been written and they will be written about everybody in the Ahlul Bayt. And nobody can give a due recognition other than Muhammad and Ali. They knew her, or Allah of course. He describes that she has 8 distinctions of being the foundation or axis. Foundation, axis. You know, we have axis, foundation. The stronger the foundation, the better the building is going to be. If that foundation is taqwa, then you will never fail. Has to be taqwa. Now, she has 8 of these axes according to this scholar. She is axis of creation. Fatir as-samawati wal ard. The creation began, Allah says, Fatima, I give you this name, Fatir as-samawati wal ard. She is the axis of creation. Then he says, she's the access of Imamah. Of course, through her and Ali. We have 11 Imams. And they are forever. And then you have access of Ahlul Bayt. Her relationship with her mother, with her father, with her husband, with her children, even with the others, is so remarkable. She only lived 18 years and some days. 18 years. She didn't even complete teenage of 19. 18 years of age, and yet Allah put all the goodness into her that any woman can need or anybody can need. It doesn't have to be a woman. Access of Mubahila, infallibility. Masumeen. Mubahila, she was there. You know, when Jibreel asked, when the people went into the Kisa, Hadith Kisa, Jibreel asked, Min tahtal Kisa, who are these, Ya Rab? Hadith Kisa, you read it? What was the answer? Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you. Fatima and her, Allah is introducing Fatima. Fatima's father, Fatima's husband, Fatima's children, Fatima. In looking at her life, it's very difficult to try and even begin to understand. One day, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took the hand of Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha and announced, and it's always here too, whoever recognizes her. You know that. This is so full of saying that recognize her. She's part of me. She's part of Risala. She's part of Nabuwa. She's access of Imamah. Who recognizes her. It's very difficult even to understand her manzilat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was a scholar who visualized, this is just his vision. He says, consider that there's an occasion, Nabi Muhammad is there, Ali is there, and 11 Imams are there. And Sayyidah arrives, hypothetically he's saying. Sayyidah arrives. He says, the 11 Imams will get up, 11 Imams, from Hassan all the way to Hujjah. They'll get up, say, mother has come. What a mother. Ali ibn Abi Talib will get up and says, Bint Rasul has come. He always called her Bint Rasul. The respect and honor between these two, phenomenal. Says, Bint Rasul has come. And then eventually Rasul will say, Allah's most favorite maid has come. The complement by these 13, making all 14. She is part of me. She is my heart and spirit in my life. And this goes on and on and on and on. Sallallahu ala Muhammad ala Muhammad. I'd like to take just a few more minutes and tell you the history that I've been able to put together of her demise, of her death. There's a lot of controversy, but our scholars screen through the controversies and give you a clear path. It's up to you to take. It's up to us. Do research and you'll find out. It is related that on the deathbed, you know that there is a sad story and there's not enough time right now to go into those details. I'll just go through summation of her last few days. It is related in Rawdatul Wa'izin that Fatima Zahra lay on her bed in illness for 40 days. Think of it. She did not get a decent meal. One meal, decent meal a day. She gave it away. Miskiman yatiman wasira. She gave even from her husband and for her children. She was for 40 days before she passed away. When she realized that her end was near, she called for Ayman, Asma bint Umayz, and Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib, her husband. They came to the side of her bed and she said, Ali ibn al-Hasan, news of my impending death was reached me and I perceived that I'll meet my father very soon. She was anxious. After 75 days of her father's death, 18 years and a few years, she just wanted to go and meet her father. Allah says, fine. Radiyatan mardiya. I accept your dua. So I want to go just meet my father soon. I will to you whatever is in my heart. O Ali. Ali said, O daughter of the Prophet of Allah, you may will whatever you desire. Ali's love, affection, attachment to Muhammad and to Fatima was unbelievable, unbreakable. They fought for him. Saying this, he sat near her bed and said to those who were present in the house, you may go out. Then Fatima said, O Ali, Ya Abul Hasan, throughout my life with you, you have never heard falsehood or witnessed betrayal from me, nor have you ever disobeyed, nor have I ever disobeyed you. Allahu Akbar, look at the ladies. This lady, this is a light. We always have complaints. One has to complete their role. She did not complain about the world. She did not complain about adversities. She was content. Whatever Allah is going to give me, I'm going to be pleased with it. I'll go on grinding, cleaning. My ribs were broken when they broke the door on my house. My son Mohsen got martyred. I'll be sabir. I'll be sabir. I'll be sabir. Ali replied, you have never disobeyed me. You are more informed, virtuous, honorable. Well, your fear of Allah is more than anyone else that I could approach you for disobedience. It's not even a thought of being disobeying. Your separation is very severe upon me. But what can one do? For there is no escape from death. By Allah, you have renewed the sorrow of the separation of Prophet of Allah, and your parting and bereavement is grand and hard upon me. You may will whatever you desire. This is the final meeting of the two of the most important people after Nabi Muhammad in our lives. You may will whatever you desire. Certainly you'll find me such that I shall fulfill your desire with goodness and endear your behest that of mine. Her death was a very sad event because she suffered for 2.5 months tyranny, injustice, hypocrisy was so pronounced. It's there in the history. One has to find it. No matter what you call it, the first, the second, and the third, no matter what it is, go and read the history. Search. If you search for the truth, with sincerity, the truth will find you. You want to find Fatima? Then devote yourself. Fatima, Abuha, Balaha, Banuha. We give an honor to her. I cannot learn enough about her life. There's so many aspects of her life that you can go on talking forever and ever and ever. And we hope, I pray. I pray to her, oh Sayyid, all of these people here, all of those around the globe who love you, love your husband, love your father, love your religion, love your children. We are with you, Sayyidina. We are your followers. We are your dedicated. Step by step by step, you have to understand where she's going to take her, where she's going to take us. Believe me, if any one of the ladies get Shafat of Fatima to Zahra, she's going to go first in the paradise. That's Fatima's guarantee. Fatima's guarantee. May Allah accept this from us. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. اللهم إني أسألك بحق محمد على محمد عليك صل على محمد على محمد واجعل النور في بصري البصيرة في ديني واليقين في قلبي والإخلاص في عملي والسلامة في نفسي والسعة في رزقي والشكر لك عبدا ما أبقيتني. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أحسنتم.
You need the other microphone too.
Oh, the other microphone?
You need both.
I think we said the Zed has we need the microphone.
Please go ahead.
I need this microphone. Can I take this?
No, I cannot have it. I'll give you this one.
This doesn't work, is that?
It works, but that one's for the mic. That one's for up here, that one's for the mic. So you need both.
Let's recite the Ziyarat al-Fatima al-Zahra Salamullah alayhi fi hadhihi al-layla, in this night. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. السلام عليك يا بنت نبي الله. السلام عليك يا بنت حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا بنت خليل الله. السلام عليك يا بنت صفي الله. السلام عليك يا بنت أمين الله. السلام عليك يا بنت خير خلق الله. السلام عليك يا بنت أفضل أنبياء الله ورسله وملائكته. السلام عليك يا بنت خير البرية. السلام عليك يا سيدة نساء العالمين من الأولين والآخرين. السلام عليك يا زوجة ولي الله وخير خلق بعد رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أم الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. السلام عليك أيتها الصديقة الشهيدة. السلام عليك أيتها الرضية المرضية. السلام عليك أيتها الفاضلة الزكية. السلام عليك أيتها الحوراء الإنسية. السلام عليك أيتها التقية النقية. السلام عليك أيتها المحدثة العليمة. السلام عليك أيتها المظلومة المغضوبة. السلام عليك أيتها المضطهدة المقهورة. السلام عليك يا فاطمة بنت رسول الله ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلى الله عليك وعلى روحك وبدنك. أشهد أنك مضيت على بينة من ربك، وأن من سرك فقد سر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، ومن جفاك فقد جفا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، ومن آذاك فقد آذى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، ومن وصلك فقد وصل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، ومن قطعك فقد قطع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، لأنك بضعة منه وروحه الذي بين جنبيه كما قال صلى الله عليه وآله. أشهد الله ورسوله وملائكته أني راض عمن رضيت عنه، ساخط على من سخطت عليه، متبرأ ممن تبرأت منه، موال لمن واليت، معاد لمن عاديت، مبغض لمن أبغضت، محب لمن أحببت. وكفى بالله شهيدا وحسيبا وجازيا ومثيبا. صلوات.
اللهم صل على
محمد.
وآل محمد.
يا الله.
قضاء ذات ورد ولا؟
زاد.
Do you want to recite ذات ورد from Hussein? It's too late. مطلقا. Let's recite زيارة الإمام حسين معروفة بزيارة والد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من متلهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي والرقي والزكي الهادي المهدي. وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا. وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبإيابكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي، وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى قائمكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله. بأبي أنت وأمي يا أبا عبد الله. لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل السماوات والأرض. فلعن الله أمة أسجت وألجمت وتهيأت لقتالك. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله قصدت حرمك وأتيت إلى مشهدك. أسأل الله بالشأن الذي لك عنده وبالمحل الذي لك لديه أن يصلي على محمد وآل محمد ويجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله وسلم. صلوات الله على محمد وآل محمد.